We're gonna go live. Let's see if, okay, it says live, and I think we are good to go. I think we are good to go. I think we are good to go. Yep, it said we are good to go. I think we are good to go. All right. So we are going to do Instagram. We're going to go over. So you're going, perfect. Okay, so we're going to go live on Instagram, and I'm also going to start that now. Okay, so we're jumping on a little bit early for episode 4 of Mirror Work Conversations with Lady O. I'm trying something new, so bear with me. YouTube is having the audio, and I'm gonna upload it to the podcast after. So I'm just playing with some technology buttons right now. For my whole day, I'm giving you the heads up, even on YouTube. For the whole day, I've been getting a blue screen telling me my computer's some issues. You know, the blue screen that has that smiley face that pops up. So I've been getting those blue screens on my laptop. So on YouTube, if all of a sudden it shuts down, just know that's a blue screen. But where there's a will, there's a way. And I promised that I was going to get this interview in today, specifically with my personal traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, Henry. He wants me to call him Henry. I like to call him Dr. Henry because no, don't call me doctor, because Western, over here they get all antsy, right? I said, listen, I'm from the Caribbean, and what you do is what we would call a doctor, because you truly do assist and reverse diagnosis, and you're there to go to the root cause, not to manage the symptoms. And I remember growing up, they say old people would classify doctors as those that go to the root cause and can address the root cause of things and can assist the root cause to eliminate the root cause. That was a doctor. You want to get healing, right? Call them a healers. And then we come over here to North America, and then they make us get all spookied with our traditional people and just focus on their solution, which is just to medicate and manage the symptoms, manage the aches, the pains, manage the diagnosis, but never being able to go to the root cause. So they get a lot of donations. We have cancer treatment donations. We have lotteries for different hospitals. Initially, everybody's pouring money into research, because apparently, because they have not gotten a cure for things. But the bush doctors, the back home healers, because we used to call them bush doctor because they use bush to heal. So we call them a doctor. But over here, they need to go through the checks and balances and all the rigmaroles. And as a result of that, they are not being classified as a doctor because they're not doing it the Western way. So they classify individuals like Henry as practitioners, and they call the other ones doctors, the ones that follow whatever is in the book in how to manage. Not to heal, to manage. Those are the doctors. And the healers, the doctors, are called practitioners. Okay? So, for the interest of keeping Henry out of hot water with the West, we're going to call him just Henry. He is a practitioner by the standards of the West. And back home, in my tradition, old people will call him bush doctor. He's a doctor. But he's registered as a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. And I'm so happy that I have Henry in my life. I did a full body scan, and we're going to go over my results. I'm going to be very transparent. For many of you might be aware that I'm a 10-year breast cancer conqueror. Breast cancer diagnosis conqueror, 17 years fibromyalgia diagnosis conqueror, clinical depression and clinical anxiety diagnosis conquerors, and lots of conquerors under my belt. And I know the value of traditional solutions, and you mix them with technology, right? You mix them with apparatuses and research materials and all of the bells and whistles that we have now in modern world, but we don't throw out what was working. Okay, we refine it and we see how we can laser focus it more based on the new things that pop up as a result of man being mad scientists, right? They say trust the science, and man and science just keep wanting to replace God in being the all of wisdom. So science and scientists tinker and they create stuff that now humanity have to live with and come up with solutions. So they say, oh, the traditional stuff don't work because this is a new thing. At the end of the day, the logic, ladies and gentlemen, is there's nothing new under the sun, because everything the mad scientists had to tinker with, the foundation of it is from nature. Man cannot create anything because man is not a creator of things that are of higher knowledge and higher compound. Man works with what is given to man, and what is given to man was created by a higher intellectual being of knowledge, right? But man, in our infiniteness, want to show that we are better than that which created things for us to investigate, right? So we create mad scientist stuff and then we throw it into the world and we say, oh, it's a new thing and only us and our science can render a solution. But the solution, if you strip it all down with all of their hocus pocus and all of their formulas and all of their whatever, it's still from a natural source. When you strip everything down, everything came from something. Man creates everything from something. And no matter how man desires, they could never create that something from themselves. They have to rely on the thing. They have to rely on some substance and then they tinker with. They cannot create the substance because everything they use to create was already there. Get it? Everything man uses to create, they have to get something. Where did that thing come from? Man has to create from something that's already there. Everything, no matter what they try to, no matter how much you want to wrap around it, man has to find something that's already created to now tweak. So I am going to be very transparent. We're going to go over my full diagnosis and my full body scan from my in-house practitioner, traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. He's going to go over it. We want to come on Instagram to let you know we are going to be showing everything on the YouTube channel. We're going to be sharing my results. He's going to go over my results. He's also on Instagram. I'm going to see if I could invite him, and I thought I did. So we're going to try it again and see what happens when I try to invite him. So for some reason, it's Z-I... Okay. Okay, so Instagram, come on, be my friend today, Instagram. Be my friend today. Be my friend today, Instagram. So Henry, we're just waiting for Henry to join us so that we can put a face to the name of who is my Chinese doctor. He is so well respected. He has clients that fly in from Montreal, from Chicago, actually, south of the border. Some drive and some fly from south of the border to come up to his clinic. He is well respected in his field. Very, very well respected in his field. And okay, so there it is. So for some reason it is, let's try it again. Let's try it again. Z- Okay. So, uh, it's not. Instagram is not being great today. Instagram is not being great today. So, well, head over to the YouTube. It's not being great for some reason. I'm not able to join him. So, I wonder if Henry can. You know what? Let me see if we can. They say where there's a will, there is a way. So, I'm going to see if. Because I'm trying to send him the invite, but it's not. It's not popping up.
Hello.
Hi, Henry. So I'm trying to get you on Instagram, but it's not popping up.
Oh,
Is your Instagram up and going?
I have the app in front of me. Let me see. I open it.
Can you do,
Yeah,
okay, so so go on your Instagram
yeah.
and I'm live right now. So let's see if I can do it where I can get you from that way. Because for some reason Instagram is not
Picking up.
it's not picking up because I try to find you on the invite, but it's not pulling up.
You have added me
Yeah,
at.
yeah, I did. I have you on my friends list. I could see your information, but
Oh,
for some reason it's not popping up. So I figured if you can go if you log on to Instagram, go on my
uh-huh.
page, you'll see that I'm live right now.
So let me see. Maybe I didn't add you or something. Maybe I. Let me see what I can.
Let's see how that works.
How do I add you? Look for.
Okay,
Uh,
so I think I sent.
uh,
Okay, just search me up and you'll see that I'm live. So just search the Opa Hope Day.
Okay, let me search.
Yeah, we're gonna get it done today. We're gonna get it done today.
Opa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
Opa
see?
Hope
Right.
Day. Yeah.
Okay. So click on that.
Follow back. Okay, I need to follow you back.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm with you now.
Okay. Do
I
you
think.
see that it says live? Do you see that there should be
Yeah,
there?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I see you
Okay.
now.
So click on
There we
that.
go. Yeah,
Pardon?
I see you now.
You see me
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Okay. So okay. So I just waved. Okay. So now there should be something there. Okay, I'm gonna see if I could now invite you that way.
Request to join.
There you go. Awesome. See, we're learning. We're learning.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
We're
But
learning.
I'm with you now.
Yeah, no worry. We're learning.
All
Hold
right.
on.
Okay.
So
All
it's
right.
there you are. See? Okay, I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna hang up on this now. Awesome. There we are. Okay, where there's a will, there's a way, Henry. Where there's a will, there's a way. Trust me, there's a learning curve for all of us and even me. I go through things and I just go with the flow and I figure out one step at a time. So thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate it. I was just letting Instagram know that once they go over, they click my link in my bio, they're going to see the podcast YouTube. We're going to go live there. We're going to show the audience my results, my full body scan results that you did. I already gave them the intro of who you are. You are a registered Chinese medicine practitioner. here in Toronto, GTA. And I also let them know that you're so well respected. Clients are flying and driving south of the border, coming up to Toronto to meet you. You have people for coming in from Vancouver, from the east end of Canada, west end of Canada is coming in, people from Montreal. So you are very well respected here in North America for what you do. And I'm very grateful that you're on my health and wellness team. And I have access through you through Hope Wellness Info. So without further ado, can you just share a little bit here? Because the segment that I'm titling this is If You Build It, They Will Come. And the it that I say is the whatever you desire to have. And for me, I desire to have a body and a health and a wellness that's going to keep up with me for me to be here longer so I can do what I know I'm put on this earth to do. What was your what was your desire? What was it that you built? And now you have people coming from all over the world to come to your clinic. What was your passions that made you say, you know what, I am going to stay in health and wellness, and I'm going to stay in the traditional Chinese medicine, and I'm going to pursue this and make this available to as many. Because I know at the beginning, it's saying now, it's saying reconnecting. Because I know at the beginning, not a lot of people, I'm just going to keep going here, not a lot of people were aware of course, my towers. Of course, my towers are going to be jumping all over the place because we're going to have, this is going to happen. No matter what's going to happen, we're going to make it happen. Reconnecting. There we go. Reconnecting. Awesome. Can you hear me, Henry? Can you? Okay, yeah. So what we're going to do then, because it looks like it's a little bit choppy here on Instagram. And as I said, I know the conversation we're going to have today is going to be life-changing for someone here in Toronto in the GTA or anyone south of the border, because you have people that's coming in from Chicago, from all over Canada, from the Vancouver area, from Montreal. People are flying in and driving in to come and see you. And we're going to have this conversation as to why, you build something and people are coming, the field of dreams. So if you can hear me, Henry, put your thumbs up. If you can't, can you hear me? No, I think. So, okay, what I'm going to do, Henry, I'm going to X you out and for you to come back in, okay? Yeah, let's see if that works. Okay, so no, I think he's gonna have to. I'm loving this. I'm loving this learning curve. Okay. So we have on Instagram here, I cannot hear you, I can hear me. Okay, so I'm going to text. Okay. Let's just go over to the YouTube. Let's go over to the YouTube. Okay, guys, so head over to the YouTube link. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're live over on the YouTube. We're going to be showing, we're going to do our stuff over there because Instagram is, something's happening, but we're going to go through it. I'm going to keep this video up. For anybody that comes in afterwards, we are going to be going over my health results, my full body scan that I did with Henry. As I said at the beginning, I'm a 10-year breast cancer conqueror, diagnosis conqueror, 17 years fibromyalgia diagnosis conqueror, and many other conquerors under my belt. And part of my maintenance is that I do my body scans. I use alternative solutions as my maintenance. I know my oncologist was a little bit offended that I wasn't doing the maintenance the Western medicine way. You have to know what's good for your body and what's good for you. And that was back in the days when we had medical freedom and we weren't ostracized or shamed for listening to our gut and going to our what's resonating with us as to what's best for our medical treatment. So I'm gonna come off Instagram. We're gonna be over live on YouTube. Just wanted everybody to get to see Henry because we're just gonna be going into my reports. And hopefully I might be able to show Henry over on Instagram depending on if everything's great over here. If not, YouTube, you know what Henry looks like. All right. So we'll talk later. Henry, we're gonna go over to the YouTube, okay? My YouTube channel is okay. Let me hold on. Click. Okay, so we'll call you. Okay, we're gonna use. I love this learning. Use the link before. Okay. All right, so we're good. I love it. Okay. So we're going to go in my bio, click on my bio. You're going to see the YouTube podcast link there. We're going to be over there. Talk to you later. Okay, thank you. Who's already there? Petro Caesar, YouTube is coming out fine. Thank you so much for your patience over in YouTube Lang. I appreciate you. I am going to call up Henry to make sure that we're on the same page because I think Henry means I'm going to go on his YouTube. I love it. Thank you so much, Petro. Full day here listening. I appreciate you. You've been hanging in there. We've been working out on the kinks. And, okay, so Henry's calling. Hey, Henry. Okay, so, yeah, so click the link that we were talking to each other before. The link that I sent you in the text. Click on there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Yes, bye-bye. Yes, beautiful. So we've been having up and down issues, but where there's a will, there's a way. This is going to be episode 4. If you build it, they would come. The Field of Dreams. I love that movie from Kevin Costner. It's a powerful, powerful movie. Oh, there it is. Henry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes. I'm going to see if I can pull you up on the screen. Yes, I have you on the screen. So YouTube can see you on the screen as well. Okay. So for everyone, this is the registered traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. That's a big mouthful. That's a mouthful, Henry. That's a mouthful. Yeah. So this is Henry. We're gonna go over my full body scan. We were on YouTube. We were just testing out YouTube today for the first time. Not YouTube, sorry, Instagram. I was doing Instagram today for the first time. For me to see how that works over there, and we were having fun over there. So now we're on YouTube, and I'm so happy I'm able to show your face over here. So we're gonna go into my full body scan. As I said, I do my maintenance every year. Just got introduced to Henry. Added Henry onto my my health and wellness journey. Get access through Henry and everything that he do to Hope Wellness Info. www.hopewellness.info. Henry is going to be part of our package for you to get the scans that we're going to be talking about. There's much more scans that Henry offers. That's going to be part of the package. And I don't have to repeat everything because everything I said on Instagram, I was able to capture it on YouTube. So we're good to go. So Henry, I know you have a couple minutes left with me, so it's going to jump straight into it. So my report is also on Hope Wellness site for anyone that wants to go over there while you're on YouTube. You can actually go on www.hopewellness.info. You're going to click on a tab that says lignans. And when you go on lignans, when you go on the lignans, see it's over here. I'm going to just pull it over here. So that's the lignans info. When you click on lignans info, scroll down and you'll see my S-Tech status report. That's the scan that we're going to go over live for everyone. And Henry's just going to go page by page, and we're just going to talk about what each page represents. And this is a full body. This scan is very, very, very important. I'm going to put more information about what the scan basically covers, but it covers everything on a cellular level. It's a powerful, powerful scan. And as I said, you can see there my symptoms is a checkup. I do it every year. I also did it for my 12-year-old Simeon. And again, because my podcast is for mothers and women who are coming out of toxic environments, narcissistic relationships, or have traumatic experiences, you're a mom, please know, trust and believe that your children are or have been affected by the environment that you are coming out of, because you both shared it. You both shared the experiences, and the experiences are going to affect you and your child. And not just, psychologically, emotionally, but also on a physical level, it's going to affect them, their health and wellness. So I went and got Simeon's full body scan done. He was complaining about headaches. There's a lot of stressful things happening in our family right now. It's been happening for the past couple of years, but it's reared its head again, once again. And again, once your children are with you, they're going to be unfortunately exposed to it. No matter how much you try to keep them sheltered, if the people around you don't care about the health and wellness, the mental, the emotional impact that it's going to have on the children, there's only so much you can do. You can only do what you can do on your end. So Simeon did his full body scan. He's complaining about headaches and some other issues. So Simeon has his report. And Simeon also did the biofeed, the indigo biofeed, and it showed a lot. It's amazing. I also did a biofeed. We're going to do my biofeed in another episode. This biofeed is, I'm telling you, it traps, it's able to narrow in specific years in which traumatic things happen, because everything is energy. And even though we do therapy work, even though we go to the doctors, we go through mindness training, transformational work, self-help work. Even if we do mindfulness meditation, self-development, we go to therapists, we talk things out. We can do all of that, and all of that is important to get it out, to get the toxin out, to get the emotional trappings and all of the stuff out. That's important. And on a physical level, all of those negative experiences, they created a negative energy. They created physical manifestations within your body, your organs, your tissues. It created a blueprint or a footprint in your DNA and in you on a physical molecular level. So as much as we're doing the detoxing, and we detox, to get rid of diagnosis and health issues, and we detox our environment by creating healthy boundaries, separating ourselves from people, divorcing ourselves from people, or just not engaging, right? We could have walked away from environments and said that's no longer serving us. We can do all of that, and we also need to get a check as to what havoc all of those things have done to your body. So the indigo biofeed plus this E-Tech body scan, these two I would highly recommend you do as soon as possible. And as I said, many of Henry's patients are coming in from Chicago. They're flying in from Vancouver, from Montreal. they're coming, and Henry is also part of Hope Wellness's membership package. There's a bronze package and a silver package, and Henry and a lot of other practitioners that I use personally is a part of this package. So without further ado, we're going to deep dive in. You see my first page. It tells you who I am, my weight, my height, my birthday, the date. Also, it even shows you my blood pressure, which is 118/70, which is great, right, Henry? What should be what is the normal pressure that we should have?
Yeah, the perfectly normal blood pressure would be 120/80, but it varies a bit depending on your age. Let's say the older you get, the little more allowance you could make. Let's say if you're over 65, 70, then close to about 140/89 or 90 even, that's acceptable. So the perfect normal range would be 180, 120/80.
Okay, awesome. So I'm in good company. My 118, my 118/70 is in I'm in good range. So we're good to go. So then now we go now to page 2. We go now to page 2 of my scan, and you can explain what this is. This says it's a EIS indicator. Can you go over that? What that's?
Yeah, so these are the parameters that they test your bioimpedance for low frequency analysis. That's how much pressure, how much resistance is being measured by the system when it measures your it's more like energy and blood circulation resistance. So they call it a bioimpedance. Is how smooth the energy flows and blood circulation flows in your body. So there is a normal range, there is a over and under. So these indicators measure your hand, your feet. So that's your extremities. So it measures on those. This would show the how much of circulation you are getting from your blood flow and energy flow in the body.
Okay, perfect. So based on these scores here that we had here, we also we talked about the things that I'm gonna have to do to increase that. So we have the under, we have the normal, and then we have the over. Okay.
Right.
All right. So now we're gonna go to page 3. Page 3 was the heart rate variability. So that's basically that's how my heart it also talks about your stress, and I see a stress indicator there and all that. You can explain that one.
Yeah, so the heart rate is 80. 80 is still acceptable. The normal heart rate range would be, let's say, around 55 to 85. But more in the middle is more better. Let's say around 65, 70. That would be more reasonable or even better range. The higher you go, the more you are going beyond the normal range. Let's say somebody is having a heart rate of 90 or even over 100, 115, then we definitely are seeing an issue with either fever or anxiety or weakness of the heart or something going on in the heart or anxiety, mental problems. These are indicators. But if the heart rate goes down to, let's say, below 50, then unless you are a powerful athlete, then the heart rate becomes a little too low. So that's usually happen to people who are suffering from cold body temperature or the blood pressure low or the blood quantity low. There are so many factors that make the heart rate too slow. So yeah, the heart rate should be in a normal range between, let's say, between 60 and 70 would be it's perfect range. But if it goes up or down for no obvious reasons, then it's a matter for concern.
Okay. And mine is
And that,
at and mine was at 80. What is
yours
it?
is 80. 80 is still okay.
Yeah, what is that section that says total power? That sounds like
Total
it's a
power, yeah. Total power is measuring the parasympathetic nervous control. This is the longest cranial nerve power nerve control of your parasympathetic activities like the heart rate, the digestive system, your other activities that are controlled by the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. This power, if it's normal, then it's going to make your heart rate and everything under more control or in more normal range. If it goes too high, so you can see the high HF, that's a high frequency, and the LF, that's a low frequency. So if the high frequency goes too high, then it means your mind and nervous system become overly loaded and anxious. So it usually affects your sleep, your mood control, your anxiety and depression, that kind of things.
Right,
And the
right.
low frequency is usually causing like depression, sluggishness, and all that. So that's measuring your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system functions.
Okay, and I noticed there's a section there that says stress, and it talks about the under.
Yeah, stress is it's about the left ventricle power of the heart that also relates to your stress level in the body in general. So it's more about the physical heart power of the left ventricle. So it has the higher level it goes, it means more stress. The heart is under stress. When the heart is under stress, then it affects your body, even mentally. Your stress level increase as well.
What range should that be?
This is showing a little high, so it means
Yeah,
your yeah should be around 160 or less.
yeah.
Yours is
191.
191, so it means it's a little
Yep,
high,
yep,
or you need to lower that a little bit to feel more comfortable.
yep, yep. And as I said, these you can't lie. These tests, you can't fake these tests. And yeah, because right now we're going through a lot of unnecessary stressors, but it's one of those things that it's part of my journey, and it's part of the after, because I'm writing a book. And all this times is great for documentation, because when people read the book, they be like, oh, that's what was happening at that time. I'm like, yep. So now we're going to go to page 4. And page 4, we have the digital pulse analysis. So it has here the talk about the cardiac output, the mean arterial pressure, the indicator, proportional to. So they're just talking about like all of these, the DEIF and all that is talking about it proportional to your artery, the elasticity of your artery, to your nervous system. I guess how they're returning. I guess the
Yeah.
indicator of the proportion between what's going out and the elasticity of your artery. Is that what that whole section
Yeah.
there is about?
Yeah, this digital pulse analysis is part of your health index. The first one is the CI. That means cardiac index. It's how much power your heart pumping the blood in each attempt, each push. How much blood volume you are pushing out. So when it shows low, it means your heart is not pushing enough blood flow to circulate around the body, and that usually causes let's say a blood circulation problem or oxygen level getting low, especially to the brain. It causes fatigue, weakness, and other issues in the body. And the middle one called SVR, that's called systemic vascular resistance. That is measuring the blood flow through the blood vessels going forward, and it's usually should be 1200. You are doing 1152, so that's very good range.
Good, good,
And then
good.
the next one is the medium artery pressure, which is your your blood pressure, and this one should be under 100. On the live screen, you can actually see the range. In this printout, it doesn't give you that extra reference range and all that, but the medium artery pressure should be under 100, between 60 to 100. You are doing 86, so that's right in the middle of the normal range.
Good, good, good. All right.
And
So,
then the next one is the stiffness index that indicates your blood vessel stiffness. So if it's the more stiff it is, the higher blood pressure will be, and the thicker the blood vessel would be, which make the blood vessel more vulnerable to blockage and to bleeding and breaking up.
Okay. All right. So far, so the digital pulse one, I'm good to go. It looks like everything. I'm doing well. I'm doing well in that category. Let's go over now to page 5. Page 5 now, this is the body composition indicators, and also talk about the body composition analysis, the target weight, and all of that. So this one is basically the composition and the follow up. It
I'm
says.
just taking a break here. I'll leave in
This
10
is
minutes.
private property. You gotta leave.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's
Go
okay.
ahead. So, yeah. So this is a indicator of the what do we call the it's a body composition. So basically, it's analyzing your weight, your lean mass, which is your muscle, and then your body fat, which is how much weight you have to lose. So this is just analyzing how healthy you are in the body weight category. So how much body fat you have, how much muscle you have, and how much how healthy is your body weight composition.
Yeah, it even has here talk about your intracellular water, the extracellular water. So, how much the proportion of the water that's within the body cells and even outside. So it even measures that too. So again, we talk about water. I did a live a live with Hope Wellness in regards to the quality of our water. That is so important. I tell people it's not just about the quantity. It's better to get 5 glasses of quality water than you drinking your 8 to 10 and it's just toxic water, right? So the quality of your water is really, really, really important. So that's why I'm very really excited to also share the C7 picture and also reverse osmosis, the RO information. That's also over on Hope Wellness if anybody wants to get more information on reverse osmosis and also C7 for your water. So on page 6 now, this is the one that I really would like to be broken down. This is the homeostasis score. And so my homeostasis is at 21, the total score, but there's little categories. The ANS, I know you told me that's the auto nervous system, is at a 4, and because it's on black and white, we can't really see it, but that's like a red. And then we have over here the different categories, the results meaning anything below 10 is poor, and then they have the warning, normal, right? So overall, I'm a 21, which is, in between the normal, but there are some areas of concern. And as I said, I did this with Simeon as well, the 12-year-old, and it was very, again, always an eye opener to see how environments and situations that they're exposed to affect them. Even though you try your best to shelter them from it, there's only so much you can do if there's an energy intentional to affect your children. So that's why it's important, mothers and women, to get out of toxic environments. I know many would want to hold on to a relationship because of all of the material trappings, and I said they're trappings, and many stay because it says for the children. The long-term effects of what these environments do to the children that many say they're staying for, it's the ripple effect is so damaging on another level. But anyhow, so the homeostasis score, Henry, if you can walk us through that.
Yeah, the homeostasis score is about the main indicators of your body function. So the top one is like blood pressure. So that one, they also have a range. So this one is in the normal range. And then the next one is DPA. DPA is like between 1 and 6. You're doing 4, which is the heart function, the left ventricle function, DPA. It's in a normal range. And the next one is O2, which is oxygen measurement of your body, especially to the brain. So it can be better. 5 is the best. 3 is a little low. So you need to enhance the blood flow and oxygen flow to the brain a little more. And the next one is ANS. The top number is 4. So you are doing fine. You are doing good there, which is the autonomic nervous system. That's the one that's the system that controls your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, especially the system that measures your that controls your kidney, your liver, your heart, your lungs, and stomach. So these are the indicators of how healthy your 5 elements in the body is doing. So in yours is okay. And the 21 in the middle is the overall. The whole range is between 7 and 30. 30 is the best. 7 is the worst. So 21 is still in the normal range. So we divided into 25 to 30 as the best range. 20 to 25 is still normal. 20 to 15 is low. And then 15 to 7 is the lowest, which is the worst case scenario of body health condition in general.
Yeah.
The BC is body composition. That's your weight range. So it gives you specific indicators in the other panel. So we walk through that. And the body tissue is how healthy your tissues are, like your body tissue in general, in terms of oxygen supply and how healthy the cellular level is. And then the left right corner is the brain tissue. Is 6 is better. 6 is the best. 4 is okay. 4 is normal. So that one indicates also how healthy and strong your brain is. So that's for this panel.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So now we're going to go down to page 7. So now what I like is after all that, it's like after you get all that, it's like, okay, now what? It's like, now what? So I love this, where this is basically now the advice of the foods not recommended, the foods that are recommended. You also give down the cooking methods, because that is recommended for each individual person. Everybody's different. And then there's the micronutrition, the vitamins, the trace elements, plant therapy, everything that's specific. And that's what I love about these scans. It's specific to you. What I also liked in the other biofeed is that scan, you could bring your supplements, the things that, because everybody's out there buying supplements, and again, as I say, we need supplements as a result of nothing is no longer pure. Everything is toxic, as much as organic as we try to. So we don't throw out organic. We still get organic, and we are still be aware that the best organic still has toxins in there, just because of the nature of the world we're in, with the air, soil, and the water is being toxic. So the supplements that many are investing in, your biofeed, you can actually bring your supplements. It actually does a breakdown on the supplements that you're using, if they're the best ones for you. And that's what I love about it. That will save people so much money, because everybody's buying everything for everything, and you might not be using the best supplement for you. You might be buying something and it's just not beneficial to you because of your DNA composition. So that's what I love about the biofeed. But continue, Henry. Sorry. I'm just excited about the biofeed.
Yeah. So this is as I said, everybody's body is different, and then they might need a different type of food for their body condition. So the machine, according to the body type, they will arrange a category of recommended food. and non-recommended food. So sometimes we could be eating the right food uh, without knowing, or we could be eating the wrong food without our knowledge. So that it's a good idea to be able to identify which ones are good for your body and which ones are not.
Yep. And then this printout is specific to your test results, and that's what I love about this full body scan. Then we're on the last page here, page 8. And this is just suggested diet advice. You have a category here specific to everybody, their regime, the food associations, and the dietary advice. So that's what I like about this. It's like when you leave, you have everything, you know what it is, and then there's a solution as to, okay, this is what you do, this is what you don't do, and it just gives you a good outline. So how long, I know for me, and so this page is very self-explanatory. It tells you the regime, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Low carb diet. It's telling you, the food associations. Like I have the meat and potato food association, meat and vegetable food. They talk about good. So it basically it breaks it down for them. But is there anything extra you want to add to this page?
No, you covered it all. It's yeah, that's a good reference guide for your food intake.
Yeah, right. So this body scan is amazing. As I said, I highly recommend it. Henry, he has clients that are driving in from Chicago. He's in Toronto, Canada. And his clients are coming from all over. They're coming from Chicago. They're flying in. They're driving in from Vancouver. They're flying in from Montreal. They're flying in. They're driving in. And obviously many people from Toronto GTA. I'm very grateful. You talk about gratitude. I'm grateful to have met you, and also the other body scans and the other health and wellness programs that you have through your knowledge of traditional Chinese medicine mixing with technology. It's really, really powerful. So thank you so much, Henry. I really appreciate your time because I know you gotta go. So I really, really appreciate you. We'll definitely come back again and do the biofeed printout for them for the audience to see my biofeed results. And I really appreciate it. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Henry. I'm
Thank you
gonna
very
let you
much.
go. Okay. Thank you, love.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, so just wanted to go live on Instagram for you just to hear what we're doing over on the YouTube channel. So I'm just gonna finish up and wrap up on the YouTube channel over there. So you can head over there. My link is in my bio for the YouTube channel for those on Instagram. Thank you guys for joining. Yes, so this was very important for me to do, for me to share my results, because I know that many people talk about health and wellness. Why is this not? Instagram is still, what is it? I don't know. For some reason, Instagram don't want to let go. I'm pressing end. There you go. So a lot of people talk about health and wellness, and I'm always transparent. I always want to let you see what I am working with, what I am doing, and also wanted you to be a part, very extensive. Thank you so much, Petra Caesar. I appreciate you. Thank you again for coming through. You came through on episode 3. I really, really, really appreciate you. And yeah, I wanted to be transparent. I wanted to show my results because I'm going to be going back in 6 months. There's a method to all my madnesses. And people that get to know me, they realize that, Lady O, I just don't do nothing just because I have nothing to do. Everything I do is intentional. I'm a woman of my word. I've always been that way since I was a young lady. When I say something, I mean it. It might take a minute, but trust and believe, I have not forgotten. And if it hasn't happened quick enough, it's not because it's me. It's because God, God's saying, "Hold on a minute, give him some time, give him some time." But anyhow, back to with all jokes aside, Yeah, so I wanted to show my my results that I did. As I said, I did it for my 12-year-old, and I'm very happy that I did. And my 12-year-old is growing up to also be very in tune with his body. He knows when something is off. He knows when something's not right. And I listened to him, listening to his body. And he's been complaining of some headaches and some other issues because of things that are popping out that we are trying our best to, mitigate and trying to just keep away the negativity. But it seems to be intentional in coming into our space. So he's feeling it. So I took him to get a scan just to make sure, see where things are, see what we need to supplement, see, because there's one, you might think what is best. It's always good to know exactly what's happening. So this is how I treat Western medicine and alternative medicine. People call it medicine from the East, but I'm from the Caribbean where, listen, the old people bush and their concoctions was working well, right? So I wouldn't call it East versus West. It's modern versus proven, tested, tried and true. Okay. So what I do and what I've always done, and that's how I was able to identify my cancer before it was diagnosed. It took 2 years before the Western technology caught up to what my intuition was already saying, because I knew something was wrong. Wasn't manifesting, it wasn't feeling anything. I just knew that something was going on inside me. There's something happening, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. And so you go to the doctor, and the doctor's and you're like, no, this, and then there's one thing that was there. He's like, oh, is that? I said, no, it's not bothering me as it's hurting me, but it's bothering me that it's there. Like what is this? And they found all these excuses and told me not to worry about it. I'm like, no, I'm not worried about it, but it's just not supposed to be there, right? And years passed by, and I kept on saying, let's check this thing out. And like, no, don't worry about it. And as a result of me being a person that does not let go of when I know something's not right, I don't care what you want to do to convince me. Until it's right for me, it's not right. So they've tried everything, they did everything, they said everything to make me not know that something is wrong. And I know within me something is wrong, and this thing is just not supposed to be there. That they're saying it's okay for it to be there, it's not a big deal. I'm like, no, it's a big deal to me because it's there and it's not supposed to be there. So long story short, 2 years later, tears in my doctor's eyes, because they're like, yeah, it's cancer. I'm like, yeah, I told you, I told you something was wrong. So now they were expecting, me to be obviously upset if I've been telling them for 2 years something is wrong and they're not listening. And then they are fast forwarding to tell me what I've been telling them was correct. But again, who's listening to that woman that has no medical degree, right? She doesn't have the science behind her. She's not an epidemiologist, a virologist, and all these ologists that they like to throw at you and say you're just a simpleton. Like, what do you know? And what you know is something called common sense and intuition and your body. You know when something's not right. You don't need to wait for science to get caught up to now affirm to you that you were right. So when science got caught up to what I've been saying, I know a lot of people was concerned about malpractice suit and suing. And I'm like, listen, I want this thing out of me, and at the end of the day, I knew my doctor was not just blowing me off. I have an amazing family doctor, and he at that time was truly going on the science. He was based on my health, my age, I was just not that person, right? They say every child you breastfed, you reduce your risk. I had 4 children, breastfed all 4. I had miscarriages before, so altogether, I had, they say on my chart, I think they have 7, because there's some others. Again, my body knows when I've miscarried, although it didn't manifest. Like they will say it, like the miscarriage that they document is the one that I had to go into the hospital for. Like, oh my gosh, right? And there are some times when I was like you could feel when life leaves you. And now I know biblical sense when they say, you could feel when life leaves you. So on record, they've had 6 pregnancies, 4 live, which is the 4 that I've given birth to, and 2 miscarried. I would say it's been 7, because there was also another miscarriage that was not documented, but I felt when the life left. It was prior to, your menstruation and all that, but I felt something. And I was like, I think I was pregnant, right? And it was like one of those things where people say, oh, no, it's just, the tissue, when you go into your menstruation, you have your blood clots. So I'm going into, information that you men might not care to hear. But if you have daughters, and if you have a wife, you might want to just still take a listen, right? So when the clots came out, like, oh no, it's just part of it. That's just normal. It's your uterus shedding itself. Part of the menstruation of a woman is that sometimes your uterus shreds and it comes out like clots. I'm like, no, that was not it, right? Because you could, like, it was not, no, I'm like, no, that was not a uterus shed blood clot part of what happens. That clot there was something else, like, like I was like, no, but they're like, no, I'm like, okay. But I know that was not the regular uterus shedding from a woman that you go through menstruation. There was something different about that clot. So I believe that was also a miscarriage. So I will document it as 7. Medical records say 6, right? So in knowing and being in tune with my body, I didn't sue my doctor, because my doctor really believes science based on everything, and him being my family doctor. He's like, no, it's not it. It's all these other things. So when he had to be the bearer of bad news, and he had tears in his eyes as a result of knowing that I was telling him 2 years prior, I know he felt bad. Like, bad is an understatement, because he knew I was telling him something was wrong for 2 years, and he was just dismissing it based on the science. So I just said to my doctor, you know what this tells you, doc? Don't always trust the science. This is before COVID, okay? And now all we're hearing in 2020, 2021 is trust the science, trust the science. And for people like myself, when we hear that, we just laugh. We say, no, nice try, French fry. No, we don't trust the science, all right? Because we've been through the science, and we know science is not always 100%. So before COVID, I told my doctor, what this tells you is not to trust science always, and to listen to the patient, listen to a woman, listen to a man. When they say something's wrong, give them the benefit of the doubt, do the test anyways, see what happens. So I told him, dry up your tears. Let's just get up with a game plan. And I just went straight into warrior mode. I was like, okay, let's get this thing out of me. So all that is going to be in my book. All of that juicy stuff, all the behind the scenes of what's been thrown, how I've responded to hell in the kitchen sink and the Cadillac being thrown at me in many areas of my life, from age 6 to age 11, in my 30s, in my 40s, still mitigating energies that's trying to do its best to not have me walk in my fullness. And there's nothing that's going to stop me from walking into my fullness, because I have a mirror image that I desire for my life to look like in all quadrants. And I gift this podcast to the women and the mothers out there who also, you have a mirror image of who you say you wanted to be since you're a little girl. And people come in your life, they heard your dreams, they see what you're about, and they decide to thwart it. They decide that, oh no, I see where you're going, but I want you for my own purpose. Or what you have, they see how they can benefit from what you have for their dreams, their goals. It's not about assisting your dreams and your goals. It's about how can I benefit? How can my dreams, my goals benefit from who you are? So they come to take, and some come to detour you because it's an indictment. If they see you succeed based on where you come from and what your story is, and they've had a story that they've been using as an excuse, and they see your story, hear your story, and you knock that out the ballpark, it's an indictment. They're guilty that they know that, oh my gosh, I could have. So instead of them looking in the mirror to see that they could have, they desire to thwart your plans, because always seeing you or seeing your success makes them guilty that they didn't pursue it the way they see you pursuing it. So what they do, they try to dim your light. They try to get you off your tracks so that they say misery love company. They could stay in their miserable lane and keep singing their sad story as to why, and you not fulfilling yours. It's like, see, I told you it's not possible. See, I told you. So they do everything to make your possibility not come true, because if you made it possible, then they know they could have made theirs, and then they're back to feeling guilty. So it's better to thwart yours. But I'm coming here to tell somebody, some mother, some woman, nobody can thwart your plans. Nobody can thwart the plans that has been designed for you. Nobody. Nobody could. The only person that could do it is you. That just came to me. So let me correct that. The only person that could thwart your plans, the plans that's designed for you, is you. By you going along with all of these distractions and all of these things that come to muddy up your life, to shatter your life, or to just disfigure your life. It needs your permission. It needs your permission. So whatever mud is on your mirror, it needs your permission for you to keep the mud there. That's number one. Number two, it needs your permission to still be in the line of fire for when the mud flings, for it to still hit you. Why are you still there? You see mud slinging. You see the dirt flinging at you. You see how dirty people are. You see their dirty hands. You see their dirty heart. Why are you still there? Because you believe that they're going to change sooner or later. They're going to see how good you are. That's going to, no. They're not going to see how good you are, because by the time they finish throwing all the mud on you, the goodness that was once seen is so covered in mud. It's even hard for you to even see your own goodness, because you're so covered in their gunk and their dirt. It's even hard for you to penetrate, to go through all of that yuckiness, for you to actually still see yourself. Mirror image. It's so hard for you to see yourself because of all of the mud that's been thrown on it that you have to take full responsibility for. And that's where mirror image comes in. You have to look in the mirror. Take full accountability that, you know what? I stayed in that line of fire way too long. All this mud on me started off with them, but it landed because of me. It says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So how long are we going to keep blaming people throwing mud when you're still around the mud throwing? You're still in the line of fire. You're still there. Why not move? So when the mud's, you're no longer there. The mud can't hit you because you're not there. But the longer and the more you stay, then yeah. So when I had to create healthy boundaries, when I had to remove myself from the muds that's been flinging and just the toxicity, people will call you stush. People will call you Hollywood. People will think you're better than them. And that's when all these name callings come. Because why? You are removing yourself from the mudslinging. Because you're seeing all the mud coming on you. You see how dirty it's getting you. You see how dark it's getting your heart. You're seeing how angry you're getting. You're seeing how all of this is making you bitter. It's making you regret helping some people. It's making you regret being the friend, the daughter, the wife, the mother, the co-worker. It's making you regret some decisions you made to sacrifice When you start regretting good things you've done, that's when you know that the venom is coming in. That's when you know the dark side, the darkness is injected. That's when you know you can see the oil, the dark oil coming into your veins. That reminds me of the analogy when I was going through my breast cancer surgery, and they had to give me these big horse needles. And the liquid that was in them as they're injecting it into you was to illuminate your inside, so it now identifies all the cancers and all this kind of scientific stuff. But every time I talk about this, I could just envision the dark toxicness coming into your veins. It's little by little overtaking. You have this time frame where you can get out of it and you can detox it. But the longer you stay in it, the more this darkness seeps into you for the entire desired purpose to overtake you. It comes to steal, kill, and destroy. It doesn't come to play patty cake with you. It's only us that wants to play patty cake with darkness and really believe that good is gonna just to keep good around. No, this is why darkness is still in our atmosphere, because we keep playing with it because of the liars on the pulpits that refuse for you to look in the mirror to see. The reason why darkness is still in our realm is because we love bomb it, because they lied to us and have us look in the mirror and tell us he without sin throw the first stone. So that means don't judge, don't require to be blessed, don't require ethics, don't call out corruption, don't call out fornication, don't call out adultery, don't call out sexual immorality, don't call out liars, because hey, are you perfect? They flip it back on you now for you to feel guilty of your imperfections that you don't dare desire to get rid of it. Because then, well, look at you. So this I'm saying, look at you. Look at your mirror image and know that you are one of the billions in this world that has contributed to the status quo of let's kiss ass to kick ass. We allow these narratives to still be in our atmosphere, in our world. We keep darkness because we need the yin and the yang. We need the dark and the light. Without dark, they misapply statements to justify them staying with us. Darkness misapplies truth so that darkness stays. Darkness always have an ulterior motive, just like the narcissist in your life. The narcissist in your life finds a way to blame or find a way to shift the focus off of them because they don't want the focus on their actions. It's, oh, well, look what you did. They don't care that your reactions is based on reacting to what they did. Oh no, it's about your reaction. So this is where you now have to take full accountability and say, yes, you're absolutely right. Doggone it. I looked in the mirror and you're absolutely right. My reaction to what you did, I have to check. So you know how I check it? By removing you out of the equation. So I no longer have to deal with having to react to how you are showing up, because you have shown that you're committed to be you. And in you being committed to be you, I am now going to be making a lifelong commitment to have to deal with how I have to react to how you showing up. So you have to ask yourself, what commitment, what's the mirror image commitment that you desire to want to be around? Do you desire to be around a mirror image of people, personally or professionally, that is always throwing mud at you? Is that when you wake up in the morning, when you're a little girl, did you say, oh, you know what, I want to be in a relationship, I want to be around people that's always throwing mud at me? Is that your desire? Is that the mirror image? Is that the image when the Most High, for those religious, that says, let's make man in our image? Is the our mudslingers? The creator that created you, what was the image that created you toxic? Was the image that created you darkness, lies, manipulation, selfishness, covetousness, gluttony? Was that the image that created you? Was that the image that created us? So the mirror image, when I say if you build it, they would come. You have to now, I have to now, and this is why I'm sharing as many results as possible, is for you guys to see what I've been doing behind the scenes. So when you do read my book and you want to know why is she still smiling, how can she still smile? You see the work I've done. If I can do it, you can do it. And that is what darkness does not want. Darkness does not want those who penetrate, those who break through. It doesn't want the breakthroughers. Because if one could break through, it gives hope to others. It gives hope to others. Because if one can do it, hold on, I thought you said it was impossible. But if it's impossible, how can one do it? Hold on a minute. I thought this was I thought living a life of integrity and still being successful in this world was impossible. But one person did it. And then that one person came in human being, walked it, did it, and said, now that I've empowered you too. And you know what the enemy said? Oh, snaps. No, we can't have them all knowing that it is possible to live a life in this realm called earth, integral from beginning to end. We can't make this thing go viral. This thing called ethical living, integral living. This thing called the life of Yeshua. For many you call Jesus, for you call the Son of God. Everybody has an earthling name for the manifestation of truth revealed in flesh. I'm going to say that again because I like to use the proper English words, not the ones that religion wants to copyright and have a trademark in, and without you saying their trademark name, you're disqualified. Truth came before religion. I'm going to say that again. Truth came before religion. Religion rebranded, because you know man likes to rebrand, take intellectual property and call it theirs, right? They do a little tweak and they say, now I own it because I did a little tweak, it's mine. When they know the premise of everything they got from somewhere else. All right. So many of you gurus that we all are hearing and we all are following and we all are whatever, and like, oh my God, this says such amazing thing. They repackaged it. No, they read it somewhere else. You just didn't read a lot. And because they know you're not reading a lot, they know when they say something, it's going to be like, oh my gosh. And they're just like, yeah, okay. They're going to run with it. And they're going to make you keep them as the gurus. If you read certain literature before their time, you would realize that they got it from somewhere else. So the Holy Scriptures is packed. The scriptures that you know and the ones that were intentionally kept out of your reach because they need you not to be fully equipped. They need you to be dependent. They need you to be minors, where you keep being a minority. They keep needing you to be dependents. I'm throwing English language. Who can catch it like the field of dreams. If you have a baseball, knock it out the ballpark, catch it. I'm winding up and I'm throwing. Who has a bat? You better knock this out the ballpark if you catch what I just throw you. They keep making you dependent, minors, minority. You keep dependent on them, so they hide truth, so you don't get the full breadth and length and width of it. So you keep coming back to them for source because they have the truth and they select which chapters, books, and verses to hand down to you for you to keep depending on them and keep being dependents and minors. So you're always walking around saying you're a minority. If you build it, they would come. What is your if that you are saying? If I could have, if I didn't, if this didn't happen to me, if I wasn't born here, if I wasn't born to these people, if I wasn't born in this island, if I wasn't born in this time, if I didn't was molested, if I wasn't raped, if I wasn't hurt, if I wasn't sexually assaulted, if I wasn't discriminated, if what's the ifs? We have a length and breadth of ifs. There's a lot of ifs. If I wasn't a female, if I wasn't from African descent, I don't call myself black because I'm not a crayon color. If I wasn't Anglo-Saxon, if I wasn't this, if I wasn't Haid, if I didn't have blonde hair, if I didn't have this last name, if. Okay. If you build it, what is the it? I know the it. I want to build the it for me in the quadrant of health and wellness is to have a body scan of all my body scans. Every time I do a body scan to come back hitting it out the ballpark. That's the it. If I build it, so the it was me to think and desire that the mirror image that I want for my health and wellness to look like this. And I said, if I build it, they would come. Who's the they? The right people at the right time who truly have a heart invested interest in your it. What is your it? Look in the mirror. Be honest with yourself. Be honest about the contribution you've paid and you've played. You've paid and you've played into your mirror getting muddy. What role did you play? You stayed in it long enough. You stayed in it too long. You gave people the best. When things were being thrown at you, what role did you play in your mirror becoming so muddy? Yes, they threw it, but you stayed in the line of fire. You hang around. When all the red flags were showing you it's time to pack up and go so you don't have that much mud to clean, now you got you have years of residue that you got to scrape off. When the mud was just flinging and you only had a week, a month, maybe a year, couple years that you could wipe off, no, you stayed. So now you got to scrape that off. That stuff is, that residue is baked on. That residue is baked. You got to soak it. You're like, look, now you're thinking, man, I stayed too long. Look at all the mud. Now I got to scrape. But it's okay. What it wants you to believe is that there's too much mud. It's too hard. It's too baked on. Just let it go. Nope. Desire to want the mud. I don't care how much it's caked on, baked on, cooked on, layered on. Desire for it to come off because the they will come. Who's the they? The right people with the right tools that's going to make that all of that residue go off like snap. The right people with the right tools, with the right mechanisms is going to make all those layers of mud that people and what you thought was never going to be able to go, they're going to come so it's going to go quick, fast, and hurry up. It's going to go quick, fast, and hurry up. So desire your it. What is your it? Look in the mirror. Be honest with self. We have an active role in our present. It's not all super spiritual. It's not all, energy and the spirits and the devil. And we do a lot of this to make it outside influences and not want to take accountability that we also had a hand to play in it. Yes, you have energies. Yes, you have darkness. Yes, you have people with bad hearts and bad minds, and yes, and yes, everything yes. And it needs a willing participant. It needs you to play along. How long did you play along with it? How long did you stay? How many warning signs did you allow to go? Be honest. No shame and no blame. Just say take full accountability. And after you do the full accountability, what is the life lessons? What's the lessons that you've learned? from being and staying so long, reflecting on the warning signs, the red flags, and the why. Why did I ignore those? Why did I not listen? There's because it's much deeper than just, oh, I didn't listen, but why? Other people saw it. Why didn't you? Well, that's because I want to get the benefit of the doubt. Okay, why? That's because I wanted to be the cheerleader. I really wanted them to come through. Why? Because I know what it feels like to be misjudged. So I want to give them that opportunity. So you were seeing yourself through them, where you were giving them chances because nobody gave you chance, and you want to be that person to give them the chance, but you just happen to be giving the wrong person the wrong chance. You know why? Because they're not you. Their heart was not you. So you gave them a shot that you wish other people would give you a shot, but you forget that they weren't you. The shot that you gave them, you know, if somebody gave you that shot, you would have you would have knocked it out the ballpark. You just been wanting somebody to give you a shot because you know your heart, you know your character, you know when you talk about integrity and loyalty, you know you, but you aren't them. That is why the opportunity you gave them to give them second, third, fourth, fifth, and all these chances, they didn't capitalize on because they're not you. You were just wanting one shot. You gave them a whole heap because you are wanting that for yourself. So you give it knowing how it would feel for someone to give you a shot. So you couldn't feel it. So you wanted to be the one to give to someone. So you're like, oh man, this feels good to give the person the shot because I know how I would feel. What we keep forgetting is that they're not you. So they're not feeling what you're feeling in the chances you've given them. The way you would feel with a chance is not how they felt when you gave them a chance. This is why when I cut and I separate, a lot of people don't get me because I know when someone is not in my shoes, meaning if I give you 2 or 3 chances, I'm giving it to you because I know what that would feel like. And I know you're not me. You know why I know you're not me? I'm watching what you've done with the first chance. That's simple. It's like, if I messed up the way you messed up and someone gave me a chance, oh baby, I ain't doing what you just did second, third, and fourth. So you just showed me that you're not me. So why am I gonna keep? No, I'm stopped. I'm not insane. I jump off the insane train very early in many relationships. I'm not doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result because I'm hoping, wishing, and pleading and fasting. Nope. There's something called reality. They're not you. They're not where you are. They're not doing the internal work. So nothing you give them, they're going to manifest and make it gold. It's always going to be a rock. It's always going to be coal because they aren't you. So that is where, for me, it's very easy to cut. When I give people chances to show that they can bring their best to the table, because I've seen them giving the best to other people in other areas. And when it comes to when we're interacting, I see how I'm like, hold on a minute. It's not the fact that you can't do it. You're choosing not to do it here. Why is that? It's the why. So I'm like, okay, what about this makes you don't think that you should rise to the best occasion? So I'm like, oh, okay, so you have not seen the same or even a higher value in this interaction. Okay, got it. Nope, not mad. I just see where you see, so I'm now going to reciprocate. That's when narcissist gets a problem. When you reciprocate what they're given, they have a problem. They don't want you to return what they're giving. They want you to keep giving them what they see you give that they want. But as soon as you start giving back how they're showing up, and you're like, okay, and you cut off that supply, oh man, that's when you see the horns. So moms, women, when you're in a toxic relationship, a toxic environment, And you're now desiring to have a mirror image of your health, your finances, your mental health, your emotional, your space. You're now desiring better. The first thing is to believe it. Believe that you deserve better than where you and your children are. No, it's not going to be easy. Trust and believe, because if you are with a narcissist, it's not going to be easy to separate, because just the nature of the narcissist is not going to want to let you go. It's not going to want to let, because it does not want to see you happy, and it has nothing to do with it. It does not want to see you and the children succeed, and it is not there in the photo op. It does not want to see life render you success, and it is nowhere in the picture. So if you are with a narcissist, just know it's not going to be an easy release. And you have to make an honest decision that you're desiring. It's not going to be easy, and it is going to end. That's the difference. Some people say, oh, this is not going to be easy. Let me just stay in it. Okay. I can't tell you what to do. I don't coach those that are still holding on and wishing and hoping. I only coach the people that I work with are those who've already passed that. They've graduated from that. They've given chances. Like they come to me already saying, yeah, I'm good. I need to leave. The children and I need to leave. They're not looking for anybody to convince them. They've already done that. Those are who I work well with. And if you're not there at that decision-making point, my best advice is to stick around, see the videos, see, I don't know, right? See what might serve you, see what not. But my engagement and my purpose is for those who have the mud and they are truly ready to clean their mirror. I'm here for those who've been broken, their mirror has been shattered, and they're desiring, they have a made up mind to put the pieces back together. I'm here for those whose mirror is distorted. They can't even see themselves in it. And they've made a commitment for their mirror image to be once again very clear and precise. Those are who I work with, because when I say, it's like, yeah, I got it, right? It's not hitting in shame or blame. It's like, yeah, you're right. Because they've done the total accountability. They've taken total accountability that things are where they are because they've stayed longer than they should have, or they've taken total accountability that they went into this relationship when there was red flags and they ignored the red flags. They're not blaming, they're taking full accountability. They're sharing their story because their story is valid. What they went through is valid. Nobody's negating that. What you went through is hell, of course. And you're coming out of it acknowledging that, yeah, I went through this. And the lesson I learned on the other side is follow my intuition. The lesson I learned on the other side is listen to those people who can see what I don't see, especially those who have who have a hard invested interest in me. They're going to see something I don't. I need to start listening to. I need to be grateful that I had those people around. I probably didn't have relationships with them anymore because part of this journey required me to cut them off, to make me not talk to them. And they probably lost respect for me. Total accountability and say, you know what? I get it now. Like the people I go to, the type of coaching I go through, the accountability is very deep. Very, 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 very deep. Where if you don't have people in your life as a result of they have lost respect for how you've allowed something to go, and they're just like, I can't be around you because like I'm always around the drama, or I'm seeing how you're allowing this to occur or how it's allowing you to treat you, and I can't be around it. So many have lost friendships, lost family, lost relationship because people desired to cut you off because you're like, whoa, I can't believe how you've made this person so you've lost relationship that way. And you have to take total accountability. Like, yeah, I get it. I now see what they saw, and if I was and seeing what they saw, because I'm now in an accountability state, I get why they did it. They had to preserve themselves too. They had to guard their emotions too, because I'm always coming to them with all of this energy, and they also had to do self-preservation. They had to do their own spiritual and energy preservation, because you're like, whoa, why are you still connected there? And after a while, they had to separate because I wasn't listening to them, or I wasn't seeing what they're seeing. And I'm still committed to this toxic thing called relationship, called marriage, called career, called whatever is the toxic thing that you've identified. And they saw it and I wasn't. So they had to go. So some have come losing friendships, losing relationships. They chose family members over a spouse that they're being committed to. And they did it because they were standing in integrity to that position. And they had to take full accountability that their family was warning them about the person before. So when they were in the role of a wife or a husband, family was saying, don't do it. So when they became a wife or they became a husband and now they have to choose, it's like the family's like, well, you've already chose, you already went down that, like now you're just making it official that now you have to choose the wife over us. But before the wife was wife or before the husband was husband, they were just girlfriend. We told you no. Another scenario is that while they were in the relationship, everything was fine. The horns didn't come out. Nobody saw the signs also. The person played a really good game, and sign starts to come after the commitment, after they said I do. Then the horns start to come. Then family or friends, co-workers are saying, hey, I don't think this is healthy. And because the person's a wife or a husband, they chose to stay committed to that position. I've had so many scenarios, and we have to walk through each one of those scenarios and go through a state of just total acceptance and now desire the mirror image that you want for you. And if you have children, for you and your children. What's the mirror image that you want? And now we have to map it out towards cleaning up your mirror, mapping out to picking up the pieces and putting the mirror back together, map it out to no longer having the mirror distorted and getting some clarity. So we have to map it out. So everybody comes on many different spectrums and many different scenarios. And the common denominator is just total acceptance. Total acceptance for what is. Total acceptance for their role in what is. No blame, no shame. Total acceptance. And then now, okay, this is the game plan. This is what needs to be done. These are the areas and the things that has to be done to get you to that mirror image. And that is where the they would come. You would see how your team, the people that are needed for the it to be built or the it to manifest, because you're doing the building by leaving, by identifying, by acknowledging. You're going to see that the team, the they, is going to come to assist in the building to be much more amazing, to have the mirror image be much more amazing. So you just desire the it and start towards building the it by accountability, total ownership, and starting to do your mirror work by moving, getting rid of whatever needs to be done. You have to start doing the heavy lifting. That is you doing the building, right? If you build it, the mirror image you want in your finances, what is it that you have to take total accountability why your finances are the way they are? Who is sucking resources out of you? Who keeps calling you to give them money? I need help, and they never pay you back. Or who are you to everybody else where everybody's taking from you but nobody deposits? Be honest as to why your finances are the way they are. Be honest of the moves and the things that you've like. Total accountability. What's the mirror image of your spiritual compass, your spirit relationship, your spirit to creator relationship, that direct line? How is that? How is the intuition? How is the conversation between you and the creator, the most high God, Jesus, Yeshua, Yahweh, whatever English language name that you want to put on there? I don't get hung up with names that people call. Okay, I don't get hung up. What is your interaction? What is your spiritual relationship between you and the Most High? What is your desired image? When you think of that relationship, what do you desire it to look like? Let's start building it. And then your physical, your relationships. What is it? The ones that really matter. What is it you desire the mirror image of it to look like? Right? You have to work. We do all that, and then we start mapping it out, and then you start building. And you start building by you doing the actions. Faith without actions is dead. It's just wishful thinking. You could have faith, you can have a desire of the it, and if you don't back it up with any action, it's just a wish. Wishful thinking. The reason why I love the Kevin Costner Field of Dreams, and I love that quote, if you build it, they would come. It no longer was just a thought or voices or an inspiration or a hope. It graduated. It was all of that, and it graduated to him now action. I'm going to build it. Getting out there, doing the work. People thought he was crazy. They're like, what? He was like, it's like, again, the Noah, right? Just build it. Build it. Move out of thought. Move out of the inspired thought. Move out of that realm. And now you do your action steps, and you'll see how the they would start coming. So that's the ending of episode 4. Thank you all for watching. If you're watching on a replay, click replay. If you're listening to it on the platforms, we are on Spotify, we are on Google Play, we are on Anchor, and I just got notification before I came on that we're now on Apple. Okay, so I'm getting there, and what I am desiring is to have a team that is so on point with all this stuff. All I gotta do is just show up and just be great. Just show up and be me. And I have the right team. The they is going to come. The right team that's just gonna come. And what's gonna take me 5 days, 5 hours, 5 weeks to figure out, they're gonna be gifted in those areas. It's gonna take boom. What? Exactly. Simeon was like, yeah, it's gonna take 5 minutes, right? So we're gonna get the they. Right? We're gonna get the they. Okay? Did you want to say something? I see you lurking around.
Yeah, not really. Just wanting to come and see what's going on.
No worries. So that's my Simeon. That's the voice of my Simeon, the 12-year-old. But yeah, our last name, Day, get it? Day. But I meant they, They. Our they is gonna come. There's gonna be a day, Day, when the theys, Theys, when the theys are going to come, and our days, Days, is going to be filled with so much reflection and gratitude, joy. Well, the joy is internal, so the external, the happiness, the beautiful memories, the moments of just being in the moment and allowing the moment to sink in and reflect on these moments, right, Simi? Reflect on the journey, right? And you just think of the journey and you say, yeah, man, yep, we kicked ass. We really did. We really did. And you can just stop and just soak in the fruits of your determination. People say fruits of your labor. You soak in the fruits of your determination, the fruits of your perseverance, the fruits of what you know is deserving of your best. The fruits of you not settling for anything less than the best that you know you desire, because you are that. You also have to be what you desire. You cannot, it's unfair. I can't say cannot because we can do whatever. It's unfair to desire ethics when you're not ethical. It's unfair to ask the Most High to send you people of character when you have character deficiencies. It's unethical, it's unbalanced to desire people around you with clean hands and clean heart and have good intentions for you when you don't have clean hands and clean hearts and good intentions for others. When you've not lived a life where you've sacrificed for the best of others, but you're willing and wanting people to sacrifice the best for you, that's unbalanced. So first you have to be that. So it comes back to that statement. Be the change you want to see. Be that you desire. Be that first, right? Be that. Once you know you've been that, then you have all right to believe that that is going to be reciprocated. You're not doing it to get, you're doing it to be that. And because you're being that, the laws of sow and reap, the law of reciprocation, the law of it is just it's going to happen. It's but you have to authentically be it. You have to really be it. So if you know that you've lived a life of being ethical, being integral, being loyal to truth, sacrificing for the good, the ethics, the right, standing up for a principle, when you know you've been one to stand for a principle, stand on a principle, and you know that means you're sacrificing friendships or whatever, even in, thank you, I'm going to wrap up with this, even because I did this one time and I flipped it back on someone that I was assisting, and they're like, oh my gosh. I said, even in the action of you being loyal to being a husband and a wife after the fact, not before. So let me qualify this. This statement is not a license to okay for you to think, no. So let me qualify this. If before you were a husband and wife, you had people shouting from the rafters saying, red light, red light, red light, no, 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 no. Don't go, don't go, don't go. Right? This is not what I'm talking about. This is when you went into something, there was, like, you went into it with good faith. You went into it wanting the best. You wanted the best for yourself, the best for the other person. There was no warnings. There was no serious red flags. Your people are coming to you. You had friends and allies and family members having meetings with you and saying, hey, I don't think so. People not coming to you saying, hey, I had a dream. I'm not talking about any of that. If you were standing in the portfolio, in the position, in the stand of being a husband, a wife, and a great employee, all of that stuff, and you did it, and you stayed loyal to that position when things are coming at you and you had nothing to qualify it, know that your decision was honorable. So that's why I said, sometimes I tell people, don't beat up on yourself. What did you do wrong? You stayed loyal to your marriage. You stayed loyal to your wife. You stayed loyal to your husband. You stayed loyal to a career. You stayed loyal to your position as being a supervisor, manager, whatever. You stayed loyal to that. You didn't have any signs. You didn't have any red flags, nothing. So you did nothing wrong. If while you're already in the position, people are coming to you and telling you did it, and you're like, hold on a minute, and they want you to jump out. You're like, hold on. That's not how I do things, because I have to honor this position. And as soon as things start manifesting itself, you're like, oh, snaps. Okay, now I see. what they're saying. That is when you make the integrity decision now to say, okay, I am loyal in this position as a result of being ethical and integral to what this position demands of me. And now there is a conflict between what my position is saying and how you're showing up. But what? Hold on. Okay. And this is where we go through what actions did you do to remain loyal to your position? And once you know you've checked off, you've given chances, you've went to therapy, you've went to HR, you did a complaint, you followed all the chain of command. When you know you've done everything, after things came to your attention, you saw the signs and you did not put your head in the sand. When you check off all of that, trust me, you are free. God, the Most High, has set you free. You have the permission to exit because you fulfill every part of the agreement for that position. And when there's a violation of the terms of agreement, you went above and beyond. And I said above and beyond because others could have just jumped out. You stayed and you went through the clauses of the agreement of what we would do if X, Y, and Z happened. You fulfilled all that. If the other person has not, and you know you can check off everything you've done, you're good. You have full permission to exit that contract now. It's null and void. You've satisfied everything. If you go to court, they'll say, conflict resolution, protocols. If you know you've done all the protocols and you've done everything, and it is what it is, the situation, now you have the permission to now escalate it. You're no longer guilty of, no. You could say, no, hold on, partner. Don't even try that blame game and that shame game. No. I did this, and this. I gave you the opportunity for this, and this. We did. You can show your steps. And once you know you can show your steps, you have a clean hand and a clean heart to show that you stayed committed and loyal to that position. And now it's time for you to exit. Because you desire a mirror image of your health. You desire a mirror image of your wealth financially, of your wealth in health, your wealth in finances, your wealth in your spiritual relationship. You desire a mirror image of your physical body, of your relationships. You desire a mirror image of wealth in your relationship, of wealth in your spiritual relationship, your financial relationship, and your mental relationship with your mind, body, and soul. You desire that. You have full walking papers. You have papers to say you've done your part. It's time for you to move on. And this is where I come in. And I assist mothers and women who have made the decision to leave toxic environments, narcissistic relationships, and traumatic experiences behind. And they're moving forward themselves. And if they have children, obviously with their children, towards a mirror image that they know they deserve. Thank you for listening to episode 4. Head over to Hope Wellness. All of the links and pages are there for all of the services and products that myself and others that's a part of Hope Wellness is using that has been beneficial to us. And we're just here now to just build, and we're building it, and we know that they would come. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching for YouTube. Thank you for listening on the podcast. Let's go out there and have an amazing 2020. Okay, this is Lady Yo. Stay in action with faith and possibility. Walk in and protect your light for your purpose.
2022. You said 2020.
Oh, 2020. Sorry. Go out there and have an amazing 2022. Thank you, Simi. He said I said 2020. When I do the playback, I'd be like, oh my gosh. But thank you for catching that. Go out there and have an amazing 2022. All right. This is Lady O. Stay in action with faith and possibility. Walk in and protect your light. Your purpose will find you. Say what you mean and live like you mean what you say. And for Hope Wellness, the sign off for Hope Wellness is all things health, all things wellness, all things informational. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening.